Hey everyone, Mike Doloff, Chief Revenue Officer at Inflow Communications. I am super excited today because I've got a special friend and guest with me on, and I've got Kyle Steele. Kyle, say hi and introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. Pleasure to be with the illustrious Mike Doloff today. Very pumped about it.
Yeah, very cool. Thanks so much, man. So I'm excited because we've been doing a series on the good, the bad, and the ugly of everyday customer experiences. And we have experiences every day, but do we think about them? We do if they're good, they're bad, or they're ugly. But do we think about what particular components make them good, bad, and ugly? So brought Kyle on because Kyle's got some great experiences and wanted to turn it over to him to share a good experience today that he has repeatedly. And then we'll break it down, what makes it good and what makes it special. So Kyle, take it away, man.
Awesome. Thanks again. Well, I just want to preface it by saying I'm a very positive guy, so I tend to remember the positive experiences that I have. Most customers, that's flipped, right? Where if they have a bad experience, they're more likely to talk about that or share that on social or with their friends about the bad experience. So with that, wanted to talk a little bit about something that's near and dear to my heart, which is Nick's Bar and Grill in beautiful, the jewel of the Midwest, Cedar Rapids, Iowa, right? And my wife's aunt passed away about 4 years ago. And her uncle, who wasn't a blood relative, had some concerns that the family might forget about him. Well, he frequents Nick's Bar and Grill, so the family said, we're going to meet you up there every Sunday, 9 a.m. for breakfast. And it's one of the best breakfasts in town. And when I think of a dynamite customer experience, I think of Terry, the bartender at Nick's Bar and Grill. Because you often think of people, not necessarily the brands, when it comes down to customer experience. There's no better ambassador for Nick's Bar and Grill than Terry. When we walk in on Sunday mornings, she knows that my wife wants a Bloody Mary. Now, for me, it's either a Diet Coke, just for the taste of it, right? Or if it's a Bears game, she knows that I might need to calm my nerves a little bit with the Bloody Mary. So she always asks. And so when we're at breakfast, Terry is absolutely phenomenal about delivering on expectations. And a little quick tip, so the breakfast has quickly evolved over the past 3-4 years into not just family, but also friends come in and you know, maybe we're talking about the night before, what we're doing that Sunday. So there's a big group of people. And if you're like me, you usually get your breakfast absolutely last in a big group of people. So the way that we flip that on our head, little bonus tip from Kyle Steele, the way that we flip that on its head is everybody chips in $1, and whoever gets their food last wins the whole pot. And some Sundays that's $14-15, right? Which helps with a couple extra Bloody Marys if my wife's feeling it that day. Terry is absolutely phenomenal about delivering on the expectations we have. When we walk in the door, we want to, you know, we need a drink, right? And she's good at taking our order. She knows that we order right at 9:15 because that's the cutoff for everybody being able to chip in their dollars. So she delivers on expectations. Now, many companies do that. I think about Chick-fil-A, how they deliver on customer expectations, and they do it in a very pleasant and memorable way. Everybody remembers Chick-fil-A for my pleasure, right? Thank you, my pleasure. Where companies fail sometimes, or they don't take that extra step, is anticipating their customers' needs. And whenever we're there on Sundays, Terry always asks, hey, is the Wolfpack at your house? Do you guys need a breakfast pizza to take home? Now, that's not top of mind for us, but there are some Sunday mornings where we say, yeah, we have a lot of kids at our house, you know, 4 or 5 people spent the night, or they're coming over for the Bears game. Let's take home a couple pizzas, take home some wings, whatever that might be. Terry takes that extra step in anticipating her customer's needs because your customer is in an unfamiliar environment, so they're not in their comfort zone a lot of times, so they're not thinking about what they need next. Terry does that, smile on her face, gets our order right every single time. So not only does she deliver on expectations, she goes above and beyond and anticipates our needs. That, to me, is the forgotten element of customer experience, is that next step. And that's how you can go from being good and deliver to great and anticipating. Nick's Bar and Grill, you're ever in Cedar Rapids, love to buy you a Bloody Mary, mimosa, screwdriver, or a Diet Coke.
I love it. Kyle, your family is a lot nicer than mine because mine, we do a flip of your ordering process, and the last person to get food actually has to pick up the tab in our family. So we like to
Just
pile
like,
misery on it.
a lot of
So
times you skipped out. You said you're going to the bathroom. You just left. Is that right?
exactly, yeah. Oh, it looks like my food's not here, so I just hit the restroom and out the back door. Exactly. No, that's fantastic. So I want to make sure everybody gets these. This is what's so cool about customer experience, because we're talking about a bar and grill in Cedar Rapids, right? And this has a really good sweet spot in your family, and it's a core part of your guys' experience. But this is what makes it a great experience. So let's hit these. I want to make sure everybody caught really kind of the bullet points of this. So the first one that you shared here, talking about knowing the customer, right? So a lot of times in a bar and grill, right, it's Terry knows you guys, knows your needs, your wants, your expectations, knows how to read the situation, right? If it's a Bears game, she knows that Kyle needs the Bloody Mary instead of the Diet Coke. All those things, and that can happen at that sort of individual retail or restaurant level, or in the contact center, right? Or anywhere in between. Knowing your customer, and whether that's that one-to-one Terry to Kyle and his family relationship, or an anonymous customer service representative that has information about me as a customer, my preferences, previous experiences, that whole spectrum in between, right? Knowing it's one thing, but using that knowledge, right, to guide what you're doing. So I think that's a huge point. We talk a lot at a very human level. It's Terry and her personality and her memory of you guys, and knowing at a very sort of building block level, it's data, knowledge, and using that to guide how that interaction is going. So I think that's awesome. The next one is sort of the building blocks of it, right? Delivering on expectations. So it would be one thing if Terry got the drinks and everything, but then the rest of the experience didn't deliver, right? The food came out wrong. It was cold. It was this or that. That sort of core part of it still has to be there, right? That's the meat and potatoes of the experience. It has to be delivered on what you're expecting. Expectations were set right. I'm coming to Nick's. I'm expecting this type of food. I'm expecting this type of service, and then being able to deliver on that, right? So that's a key core component always in an experience, and nailed here by Terry and at the bar and grill.
Yep.
And then the last one, like you said, I think this is kind of the bonus, right? Like this takes something from good to great, and that's anticipating the needs. So much of a customer experience is fulfilling what the immediate ask from someone is, but sometimes they're like, I liked what you said, Kyle. You said, sometimes they're not in their element or anticipating what their own next need is. And so if you can come in and say, hey, this is what you're going to need next, or hey, have you guys thought about bringing home some pizzas for your kids that are there? And they're like, what a great idea. I'm going to look like a hero, right? You feel good because you've anticipated a need. Terry feels really good because she got more on the bill, and so maybe the tip's better, right? And you guys are happier.
Yep.
So everyone win. That's what we talk about, right? A good customer experience is a win-win, right? You feel good about it. Your family feels good about it. And Nick's Diner feels good about it. Terry feels good about it. Everyone's happy. That's a good experience. And so I love it. I think what a great experience to share, Kyle. Thank you as always for joining us. I'm glad that we got to chat with you, and we feel honored to have your presence on here. It's been really good. For everyone else tuning in, please comment, share, like, do all the normal stuff. We'd love to hear your experiences and break those down and find out what makes them good, what makes them bad, and what makes them ugly, so we can talk about it. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll talk to you again soon.
Absolutely. Thank you.